Greg Silva here. We're going to have a good staff meeting today, and this is for instructors. This is instructor training tips. And what we're really going to do is do this as a training session with the other instructors in the school. So I'd really like all the instructors, the junior instructors, the master instructors, even the owner to participate in this meeting. And I'm giving you a piece of paper, and on this piece of paper we're going to have, how do you know when your class is in control? Now there's two parts. There's one, desired behavior, what I want my students to do. The other side is undesired behavior, things that just drive me nuts when I'm in class. So you're going to sit down and you say, okay, what's the desired behavior? And instructors are just going to start saying, okay, I like it when people bow to me and they say yes sir, no sir. Okay, write that down. What else do you like? Well, I like it when people come in and they don't disrupt the other class, but they sit quietly. Okay, that's a desired behavior. You know, I really hate it when students chew gum or eat in class. Okay, everyone agree on that? Yeah, I don't like that either. That's undesired behavior. You know what I like? If a student's walking into school and there's some paper or someone drops something on the floor, they pick it up and it shows that they take pride in the school. Hey, I like that too. That's desired behavior. You know what drives me nuts? When kids are in line and they're pushing each other instead of watching and waiting their turn politely. In fact, I like them in a fighting stance. Okay, so we got two things. We don't want them moving around in line. We don't want them talking in line. And we want to make sure that they're in a fighting stance. Cool. So everyone got the idea? So you're going to sit down with all the instructors, the junior instructors, and you talk about behavior. Behavior from the minute the door opens to school and the student walks into school until they leave. What you like about that student, how you want them to behave. How you visualize a student in training getting the most out of their class. How do you know when the class, okay, when people come in and they watch my school, they see that I'm teaching self-discipline. They see students in control. They see students working together and everyone's doing things at the same time. They see energy. They see enthusiasm. So what's the picture of your school? What does it feel like? What does it look like? How the students behaving? How the students dressing? These are all desired behaviors and undesired behaviors. But before we can teach them to the students, we have to define them. Because I really can't have any type of behavior if I have an instructor at the 5 o'clock class and he just wants the kids to run on the mat and start training. Oh, but the 6 o'clock class, he wants all the students to bow in, slap their legs, and turn their head, bow their head like this. So we have to make sure there's consistency. So all the instructors, the master instructor, and the owner all have to agree on the desired behavior and undesired behavior. So we're going to practice that. You're going to write those things down, and then we're going to go and define the rules for the students. Okay, now that we have our paper filled out and we know the desired behavior, what we want to do is make sure the students know the rules. So this is called defining the rules. And these are the steps that we're going to go to make sure the students totally understand what we're looking for and they're willing and able to participate. So step one is we have to verbalize the desired behavior. If a student does not know where the limits are, it becomes very difficult for them to obey. In other words, you really can't expect something out of a student or behavior unless you tell them that this is what I expect out of you. So we're going to start and we're going to say, okay guys, when you come in, first thing I want you to do is bow at the door. Second thing, I want you to make sure you greet the person at the front counter because we're outgoing when we're martial arts students. So why don't you go over there and say, good afternoon, Mr. Diaz, how you doing today? Now, at the same time, if Mr. Diaz is busy, we got to make sure we don't interrupt him because that's another thing that we want to make sure we do. We respect other people's time. So if Mr. Diaz is busy, we can just kind of wave and walk by, or if he's almost done, we can wait till he's done and then greet him. Now, after you greet Mr. Diaz, what I want you to do is take your shoes off, put them in your bag. Everything goes in your equipment bag. Put your equipment bag right here on the side of the mat. That's where I want them. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our attendance card. Once we get the attendance card, there's probably a class going on, so I like to have you sit nice and quietly because we don't want to disturb the rest of the class. So you're going to sit here and you'll hold your attendance card. Now, once the instructor dismisses the class, everyone's going to stand up. You're going to hold your attendance card out with two hands. You're going to wait for me to grab it. And the reason we hold it with two hands is because I don't want you fidgeting and moving your hands around. So we hold it in two hands just like this. I'll come across or the instructor come across, grab your card, and we'll greet each other. Okay, from there, we want a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. When we say, "Are you ready?" I want a loud, "Yes, sir." And then we're going to bow to your parents, or we're going to greet your parents. Again, now your parents are very important, so we've got to make sure there's a loud, "Yes, sir," or "Hello, parents," or "How you doing today?" Whatever I ask you to say to the parents, because I'm going to change it up. You just listen for my command, and we'll say that when we bow to the parents. So what I'm really doing is I'm defining the rules. So I have to make sure all the students know what I expect. And also I say, guys, everyone walks around barefoot. I really can't have stuff sticking on the floor. So chewing gum is out. Plus, if we're chewing gum, there's always a chance of you keying or something and choking on your gum. So it's not allowed in the school. But again, unless I define that rule, and I don't want just a bunch of rules on the wall, because I can't really expect the students to come and memorize every rule on the wall. So I have to talk about this behavior. Now, just like when you teach a student a form, you teach the form, you rehearse it, you practice it, you drill it, you practice it some more, you talk about it, you give them some tips, they practice it some more, you give them some more feedback. It's the same thing with the rules in the school. Just because I've gone over these once doesn't mean I'm going to get my desired behavior. So now we go on to step number 2. We practice the desired behavior. And this is something I do, and it's not a waste of time because parents see the importance of when you practice the behavior. People line up. I say, "Okay, everyone line up behind me. I'll walk outside the door. I'll close the door of the front of the school. Hey, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to practice bowing into the front of the door." And the reason we do that, this isn't like the Pizza House or this isn't like the Chinese restaurant. Once we go into martial arts school, we change. We're going from a regular kid to a karate kid. And karate kids practice their behavior and their protocol. It's part of being a martial artist. So we're going to leave everything behind us, and as soon as we open the door, we're going to bow. And then we're going to go and we're going to practice our respect. So I want you to go and see who's behind the counter. Right now, Mr. James is behind the counter, so we're going to walk up and we say, "Mr. James, hello today, how are you?" And so we're going to do some type of greeting. You can say what you want, but I want you to greet Mr. James. Next thing I want you to do is sit quietly on the mat, and we're going to get ready for class. So we're going to practice that. Now, guys, make sure you bow. Mean it. I don't want you just bobbing your head. Standing nice and straight. Good bow. Then all of a sudden walk in. When you talk to Mr. James behind the counter, I want it nice and clear and loud. Don't mumble. Don't say it too fast. Make sure you look him right in the eyes. So again, now I'm very specific on this, but we're going to practice the desired behavior. Again, it's not a list on the wall. I explain exactly what I want, and then as I practice it, I'm explaining it again. So now they really understand. Then step 3, when I catch someone doing good or doing this on their own, I want to reinforce it. So it could be the next week in class, and I'll say, all kids are lined up, I go, "David, what did you do when you came in the door?" And all of a sudden everyone thinks, hey, Silva freaked out. He's yelling at David. And David looks at me, and I go, "David, you did the most respectful bow I've seen all day. You opened the door, I saw you nice and proud. You bent over, you bowed. I just got to tell you, that was showing the most courtesy I've seen all day. You're a very respectful student. I'm very proud of you. You're truly a black belt in training." Go over and give them a high five. So, number 1, verbalize your expectations. 2, practice desired behavior. 3, when you catch someone doing good, reinforce that behavior so other students adhere to the rules. So, part 1 is write down your desired behavior, write down undesired behavior, and then teach it to your students. Practice it, and then reinforce it. Have fun with this. Good job. If you have any challenges, give me a call or write me an email. Thank you.